Hello, hello everybody. Buenas tardes a todos. Bueno, bienvenidos a este en vivo que estamos haciendo hoy aquí desde Colombia, San Francisco, Cundinamarca. Una vez más acá con nuestra escuela ancestral y queriendo hacer este pequeño compartir con ustedes sobre este proceso que estamos viviendo en esta semana, que estuvimos abriendo lo que llamamos la puerta del agua, la puerta de las emociones, esta gran puerta que nos conecta con ese sentir que nos hace pensar en dónde están nuestras emociones, cómo nos estamos sintiendo en estos tiempos. La semana anterior abrimos la primera puerta, que era la puerta del fuego, y estamos haciendo este recorrido a través de la rueda de la vida, en este programa que estamos volviendo a lanzar, y queremos a través de estos en vivos compartir con ustedes un poquito una actualización de esa palabra que se transmitió hace unos meses. Quería comentarles que hoy compartir lo vamos a hacer en inglés, ya que nuestra invitada está en las Islas Británicas. Entonces, empiezo hablándoles en español para que los que están viendo esto en español en este momento sepan que vamos a estar trabajando en los subtítulos para ponerle subtítulos a esto muy pronto. Entonces, estén pendientes. Entonces, en este momento voy a cambiar a inglés para darle la bienvenida a Julia y para hablar un poquito, poner en contexto nuestro compartir. Y por favor, aquellos que no sepan inglés o que no entiendan, pues como les digo, ojalá entre mañana y pasado mañana estaremos compartiéndoles este mismo video con subtítulos. Pues, muchas gracias acá también. Well, so hello, I'm just going to swap language to English due to our guest today. She's from the British Isles. So I was just sharing, for those who are watching, very happy to be here and welcoming you all to another chapter, another sharing related to the wheel of life, the wheel of the medicine wheel, or the wheel of life. This program that we have put together for all of you during these times of transformation, times of transition in our humanity, in the way that we knew life. And last week, we began on the first door of the wheel of life, which it was fire, and we were sharing the video about it. And also we did another live streaming on the previous Thursday with Mayan elder, who was also sharing with us wisdom from the fire. So today we have here another dear friend from the Celtic tradition, from the Celtic family in Britain, and sharing a little bit of messages from the water with all of you, and sharing a little insight about this door of the water, which represents our emotions, how we're feeling, where are our emotions at this stage. And I invite you, if you haven't watched the video, every Monday at 7 p.m. Colombia time, we're doing the relaunch of the videos with a bit more information about all this. And they stay uploaded there on the Facebook, so you can access them anytime. So if you haven't watched these videos, I highly invite you to check it here on our Ancestral School. I'm going to share here with you the link. That's the link of the Ancestral School here in Colombia. So you can watch all the videos that we've done so far. But at the meantime, yeah, I just wanted to invite you to connect today in these times of the full moon, to ask ourselves, how are my emotions at this stage of my life, in this very moment? The moon has come to talk to us in a very important moment once again, like every month. And as we know, the moon interacts a lot with the waters. And so the waters rise up, and so the waters move. And so our inner waters also move. Our emotions, the way we're feeling, maybe the way that our dreams are happening, and how much are they affecting us or touching us in one way or another. So I was sharing in the video on Monday about maybe taking some time for ourselves to reflect about these questions. and maybe ask ourselves whether my emotions are at the moment like a river flowing greatly, or are maybe a bit chaotic, like in these big waterfalls, or maybe they are very calm, like in a sacred lake. Where are my waters? What are my waters? What are my feelings? And how am I feeling with myself? And how am I projecting those feelings to others? And how all those feelings connect and synchronize with what is happening around the world and the waters of the mother, the waters of the father, that we call the feminine waters, the masculine waters. And how much are we listening to the waters? How much are we taking some time to observe our emotions and to realize that maybe sometimes we are getting completely out of the way, of a calming way, of a steady way, by allowing our emotions to go a little bit crazy? And the waters are telling us, are we listening? Are we hearing the messages that the mother is sending to us through the waters? Are we truly taking time to reflect and observe what is happening around the world with the global emotion, with the global water? So probably there are many questions that we have in ourselves at this moment, in a moment where we understand that it's difficult to even consider about clear answers. But at least a good beginning sometimes could be having good questions to see and reflect and think about them and think how, what's my answer? What's the answer for this? And like last week we were talking and sharing to you, like the fire hears you, the fire talks to you, the fire answers you. The invitation for this week is to do the same with the water, to sit by a lake or a pond like this, or to by a river, at the sea, or under the rain, to ask and to talk to the water beings and to ask your questions to see what answers you get. And for this way of the water, I have a wonderful guest today, Julia, who's a great guardian of this knowledge, of this wisdom, of the connection with the water, the work with the water, the language of the water, and how to communicate with the water beings so we can get clearer ideas and clearer messages that can help us to maybe understand how my emotions are moving within myself and what can I do with it, and how can I learn how to dive even better through them as they are changing constantly. So I would like to invite Julia here to our live streaming, and it's a pleasure to have you here again, Julia. Just a second. And here we are. Hello, Julia.
Hello, Anthar, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, hello. Thank you so much for hearing the call again to come here and visit us on these online ways, and for everybody who's here to watch us, to listen to, to the words of our ancestors through the waters. And I'm really honored to have you here because I know you carry this wisdom very sacredly, and you honor so much the lineage that you carry. And it's a great privilege for everybody who's watching this, to have the opportunity to not only listening to you, but listening to those messages that come through you from these ancestors through the water. So feel welcome to this family, and I hope that everybody can just truly be touched by those beautiful messages that you're bringing, Julia.
Thank you very much. I'd like to begin by sending you all, each and every one, the warmest greetings from my homeland, and also give sincere thanks to you, Anthar, and the School of Ancestral Wisdom for being and inviting me to speak on behalf of the waters and the water beings in my capacity as the water seer, oracle, and keeper of the Deepen Way, which is the indigenous tradition of my home here in the south of England. So we would like to begin by offering this, that everything is in a transformative process, that everything flows in natural cycles and natural rhythm. This is the natural rhythm of the cosmos, and in this you can rest. In this you can trust. We are all now engaged in a great transformational process, and this must be so. The question arises then, how can we as humans, as individuals, work with this transformational process and not be completely overwhelmed? In my tradition, from the winter solstice, which is the 21st of December, through until the 6th of January, it is the time that we call the quiet days. On the winter solstice, at the return of the sun, we begin our receivership. This is when new light codings from the source, from Creator, flood through the portal of our sun into our hearts. We call these days the quiet days because it is the time when we quietly receive these energies into our being and feel into them. In this, we may begin to have an understanding of our personal themes for the coming year. We might receive just one word, or perhaps a symbol, a color, or even just a feeling. And we call this the impulse. What is important is this energy is received by us, welcomed by us. This energy then becomes the core seed impulse of our work of self for the coming year. And this happens to each and every one of us, either consciously or unconsciously, wherever we are in the world. And right now, in this moment, the core seed impulse of energy is living in your heart. Just look into your own heart right now, and you can see in there the golden seed of potency. Maybe very small, delicate, or perhaps very large and magnificent. Feel the size of it, the shape of it, the weight of it. It is a marvelous thing and a great gift. In the old ways of my tradition, on the eve of Imbolc, which is a festival that we honor on the 1st and 2nd of February, we go out into nature and make a communication with the goddess. We pour milk upon the ground in offering to her and ask that she bless with fertility the land for the coming year. We also hang red ribbon from the tree branches for her to bless as she passes, red to symbolize the fire of her transformational power. And then through the night until dawn, Brigid, the goddess, moves across the land, sending her deep transformational energies into all the seeds so that they may germinate and grow. And this is not just the seeds of the earth, but the great golden seed that resides and is planted in our own hearts too. And so at the approaching of Imbolc, which is an energy that will sweep across the whole planet to each and every one of us, if we take a moment, just a moment, to quieten ourselves and listen to our own heart, we may ask, what is the impulse that I feel living within me now? And how might I and my own creative given gifts respond to it? And this is the message now from the waters. They would ask us, they would gently encourage us to grow organically from this heart seed energy, our own vision for the earth and all life upon her. They ask us to be of good faith and to be steady. They assure us that the old consciousness and the old mind-led way, which is the old patriarch that has brought the planet into its present state, is now being revealed as inept, feeling, outmoded, and unwanted. The old way of the structure that seeks to create and control from an outer position, from the top down, is coming to an end. And this is the beginning of the transition that we are all feeling so very deeply. The new way, which is the new consciousness and the heart-led way, is now rising. And this is the energy that lives in our heart seed. We, each one of us, has our own part in this thing, and it is up to us to take our own personal responsibility and grow this new way from the ground up, aligning our own self with the new consciousness. This is the most creative action that we can all take at present. And for once, due to the intervention of the viral beings, we are being given the time and the space to be clear about and make space for our own intention. The waters encourage us then to tend our core seed impulse, that wonderful and potent energy that lives within us, and give it the spaciousness to germinate and to grow. To water it and to tend it with love and faith, and to not just hold the vision of what we would see grow upon this earth in our minds alone, but to be the vision ourselves, to embody it, to feel it, to share it, to bring it forth into this world, for we are the creators. So the next question to ask ourselves is, are we ready to make the future? And if we're not, what is holding us back? In this, I pass on now, with great love, a message from the water beings. Beloved beings, we reach out to you now in this, the time of the great transition, and ask that you gently consider your inner and your outer flow, or to be more precise, your inner to outer flow. At this time, faced with all that is happening in the world, you may find, if you just look, if you just feel inside of your own self, that you are actually holding back your own flow, that you have become like a dam to your own river. Fear is the energy that creates the rocks that obstruct your flow. Sometimes your fears are so small, they are just pebbles or grit that form your stop your flow. And sometimes the fear is far greater. It becomes like great boulders, and your flow is reduced to just a trickle. Your flow becomes like a pressure behind you that wants to come forward but cannot. And this causes you great tension, tightness, frustration, and a loss of energy and direction. But we ask that you breathe deeply and relax and feel into the excellent being and allow us to help you. As you feel into your being, you breathe in. Allow the flow of the waters of the world to fill your consciousness. Feel our power, which is the love of life. Let yourself connect now to feel the river that flows from the center of all things. Let it come into your being and flow through your golden heart. Allow this river of love to flow through your heart like a waterfall down into your solar plexus and push away that inner dam of fear. Just let it wash away. Let the rocks and boulders of fear be pushed aside and be transmuted back into flow. Pure, wonderful flow. Allow yourself to feel all that pressure that was behind you just dissipate and flow forward and forward and forward. And then take your inner eye inside your own nervous system. That nervous system that is like a network of inner streams and rivers. And see that system. See those rivers now begin to quieten and soften and slow down. Everything is slowing down to its natural rhythm, its natural flow, a cool, quiet stream flowing gently in the sunlight, all returning to peace. And you remember that as you create this inner peace, this deep inner peace inside your own selves, you naturally create outer peace, a place where your own seed of energy can grow and flourish. So may it be, so may it be, and so it is.
Beautiful. Thank you, Julia. Beautiful, beautiful word, beautiful message, and I think very very in touch with this moment that you're raising there, which is, I guess, for many people who probably are watching this or listening to their families, with the question of what is now, what do we do now that we're having all these more lockdowns and more time to ourselves. I think the only thing that I personally have seen is the one way that really help us to feel at peace is to listen more and more to the rhythms of nature, to the rhythms of the mother and the rhythms of all these beings that are around us. And you're mentioning something very important, which is synchronizing ourselves to understand that this is a time of fertilization, of to fertilize our life and to realize that if we put some effort into that, the seeds that we are carrying for this time ahead may grow beautifully and super healthy amongst all this disruption and all this confusion that is all around us and that is actually possessing all our waters and our emotions and our thinking. I think a good way to find that peace is absolutely just realizing that nature is sending us these messages and then asking ourselves if we have been doing it through the time and understanding that we're carrying some seeds for this very good time to put them in the ground and to see them growing. Seeds called projects, ideas, even plants themselves and everything, fruits. How a better time to utilize this hermit time that the mother has offered to all of us, to be with ourselves, to be in time of reflection, to be thinking and to be observing ourselves. And sometimes maybe some questions might be triggered, like, but thinking about what, feeling what, I don't even know what to think of with all this situation. well, here is nature to remind us, that before all these situations were happening, nature, we see it keep growing, keep moving, keep doing what it does. And so she and them are just telling us this beautiful message to just, do what we can to fertilize even better our own land, our own earth, so that we could grow even better for this new cycle ahead. So
Yes,
yeah,
and
beautiful.
our own gifts, because there is not one person on this earth
Hmm.
at this time who is here by accident. Everyone is important, and everyone, every single one, carries inside them an energy that is completely unique. And that energy can be brought forward now in greater and growing confidence, brought forward into the world.
Absolutely. And Julia, I remember you were saying on the video this little practice at the end that it resonated to many people who wrote me about, where you were mentioning about sometimes we seek for complicated things and complex ways of doing something. Like sometimes if we speak, I would like to do something for the waters, and maybe our visions go quite ambitious about wanting to probably clean the whole sea or clean a massive river, and maybe frustration comes because then you say to yourself, well, how can I do this? I mean, it's just me. That's not going to be possible. So maybe I just don't do anything. But
Mm.
with simple, very simple things, we could actually honor these waters and feel connected at least to that. And you were sharing with us about doing this symbol of pretty much the symbol of infinity through the water before intaking or before using it or something. So I don't know if there is anything that you would like to leave people with, any sort of I don't know, something that people might just go to, even to the shower, right? Like opening your shower, using your toilet, washing your hands,
Yeah.
cooking. What would you suggest to people?
Well, the simplest thing of all is when you take your glass of water, is to simply bless it. God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. Or
Hmm.
divine blessings be upon you. And then when we drink it, it then becomes spiritualized.
Hmm.
And yes, just being grateful and speaking our own gratitude, speaking from our hearts and giving gratitude to acknowledging the water. And also remembering as we feel into the natural world, as we have this special time now to slow down, to listen, to really feel into our environment, to realize, truly realize that there is no separation.
Hmm.
We are one with everything. Everything comes from one modified energy, and we are all part of that whole. But in answer to your specifically, in answer to your question, uh, one of the best things that we can do with water, if we can go and we buy a water source, a pond, a lake, a stream, is to tell our story and share
Hmm.
our own experiences of love and of hope. This does a very great deal for the waters and the water beings. It enlivens it and makes it move in a more invigorated way. It increases the quality of flow and also the etheric body of the waters. So we can share our own selves with it as we would a friend
Hmm.
and
Absolutely.
develop our own personal relationship with our own waters.
Yes. Yeah, that's rebounding what a relationship is. That is, relations are not only between humans, but also among everything we live, and that resonates a lot with our ancestors who also say that because these old ways have been somehow forgotten, the spirits of nature are missing us, are missing to hear our stories, are missing to hear our songs, our dances, and what you're saying, just to come and actually also another thing there is that very often we get to these places and we are sat there to ask all the time for something. Help me with this. Can you help me to do this? But how many times do we actually go to offer something, to
Yes.
share a song, to share a story, to share where we are? And actually, the beautiful thing is to understand that that water isn't just going to stay there, but it's going to continue flowing. And all that beauty that we bring into nature is going to be received by others who are going to be touched by it further
Yeah,
down the line of water.
that's
So
right.
that's
Everything
yeah,
that you send out into the waters is eventually carried out into the greater world. It affects everything and everyone.
absolutely.
One of
Yeah.
the greatest prayers that you can make to any body of water, whether it is a bowl of water or a bath or the water in your shower, is this. You can stand, and it's good if you make the figure of eight pattern, but you don't have to. And you say these words: divine blessings be upon you. May all and any inharmonious vibration be transmuted to highest spiritual good.
Mm.
This is one of the most effective prayers that you can use with water. It lifts
Yeah.
any low frequency vibration and allows the water to move forward in a new frequency. And then
Mm.
it affects all the water it comes into contact with.
Yes. Yes. Like reestablishing the connection and reestablishing that friendship of
Yeah.
awareness
Mhm.
towards the other. Beautiful. Well, Julia, thank you so much. We would love to be talking for many hours. I'm sure there's so much to share about this. So I guess one of my challenges is to try and keep the format to what we are trying to get more or less around these 30 minutes for all of you people who are watching here, friends from everywhere where you are. Um, so I think, yeah, with just to close with these words of thankfulness, of no matter how far we are, that we have a big ocean separating us in the physical, but here we are, still sharing from the same kingdom and the same origins. So yeah, thank you everybody for being here once again. Thank you, Julia. It's around 8:30 in the UK at this stage. It's only half. Well, it's about it's nearly 9 over there. Um, so it's going to be around 4 p.m. here in Colombia. Yeah, guys. So thank you so much for watching this. We will be posting this with subtitles hopefully tomorrow or the day after for the Spanish speaking to receive these words of knowledge. And in the meantime, yeah, just inviting you again, if you haven't watched the long video that we did for more or less like an hour and a half, Julia was there. And tomorrow we're going to do another live with Ivy, the Auntie Ivy from New Zealand, who is also a great guardian of water. And she's going to be sharing here with us again. So yeah, more messages of the water. And let me share with you guys this that information in the bottom is for this Saturday, which we've been doing like in the previous cycle. So just to repeat more or less how it works, on Monday we relaunch the videos of each of the doors. Then on Thursdays we're going to be aiming, or maybe earlier on in the week we're working on that to do this little update of the words with those who were part of the video. And on Saturday we do the ceremony, the sound ceremony. So it's going to be 3 hours where we will talk a little bit more, and the medicine that we will share will be the sound, where people will share their experiences, and of course we will retouch back again into the topic and share a little bit more work into this. So if you visit I'm going to leave you also here. That's the Facebook for the school, the Escuela Ancestral Colombia, the Ancestral School Colombia. So the events are already up there. So there is one for English speaking, which is at 7 p.m. UK, and then there is the Spanish speaking, which is also 7 p.m. but Colombia time. So please have a look in our Facebook page, and all the information is there. And if I don't see you this Saturday, I hopefully will see you on Monday at 7 p.m. Colombia, where we are going to open the third door, which is the door of the earth. A wonderful, wonderful guests, beautiful word, and also beautiful interviews that are going to happen through the week. So thank you once again, everybody, and everybody in the school who's supporting this, and everybody who's watching. Thank you so much. And Julia, big love and big hugs, and hopefully we can see each other in the physical eventually, hopefully not too far long in the future.
Sending warmest blessings to each and every one. And it's been a privilege and a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Julia. Big hugs to you too. And I'm sure I will see you very soon. Ciao, ciao for now.
Bye-bye.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. It's been lovely to share with you all. I'm going to change to Spanish to the closing. But thank you for being here with us. Y bueno, para aquellos que de pronto no entienden el inglés, una vez más, esto va a estar con subtítulos en español, de pronto mañana o pasado mañana, entonces para que no se lo pierdan, y ahí les queda la información para este sábado, los que quieran unirse, ahí estamos pendientes. Entonces muchas gracias, muchas bendiciones, gracias por estar aquí acompañándonos, y bueno, nos volvemos a ver, si no este sábado, entonces nos vemos el lunes para abrir la tercera puerta de la rueda de la vida, que es la puerta de la tierra. Muchas gracias a todos por estar acá, nos vemos muy pronto, y mañana haremos otro en vivo con la abuela Ivy desde Nueva Zelanda, para que no se lo pierdan, más o menos a la misma hora. Por favor, estén pendientes en la página de la escuela para la hora, porque tenemos diferencias horarias bastante grandes, entonces estamos organizando todo. Por ahora, muchas gracias y nos vemos pronto. Chao, chao.